Okay, everyone, and welcome back to 1016. How's it going, guys? What's happening? Sorry, queuing clips. How we doing, guys? I see Zoe is sick. That's no fun. I'm sorry to hear that. Being sick sucks. Being sick really, really sucks. Let's see who we got here. We have, if it will let me scroll up, we've got Frick, Greg, Zoe, Bun Bun's here. No. I hate Bun. Being sick. God, you're a dork. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, Silver, how's it going? Being sick sucks. I mean, yeah, more or less. You guys ready to go back to hell? Hey, Tundra. Let's go home. Yes, yes, yes. How's it going, guys? Already here, waiting for the rest of y'all. God damn, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Where's Dee today? Is she at work? She's probably at work, if I had to guess. How's it going? Lori and I just got home from a late lunch. I saw that. Certain someone decided not to take a nap because she was too excited for some reason. Babies like going out. It's a lot of stimulation. All of the sights and sounds and things that they're just generally not used to. It's a thing for them. They love it. Whoopsie daisy. I hit a button. Okay. So let's see. We've completed the ending where we make Dorian really happy. Trying to think of how to attack things here. Okay, this time let's completely do everything we can not to socialize with Dorian. I think that might be an ending. Like last time or the first time we intermittently kind of reached out to him and kind of poked at him for information. The second time around we were all about him. So this time let's do the exact opposite. I think I want to start there and see just how bad that level of bad can get. Having to poke things, hang on. Okay. I know I'm gonna have my face in this thing for so much of it, thanks to his voice. The antisocial route, aka my life from 21 to 26. Sounds like a plan. Who doesn't love, let me see here, dying horribly? Yeah, that. That's the agenda this time around. So we're gonna start with that and see what happens. Let's ask about the fires. We are going to stand next to him. We are going to say, not human. We are going to follow. We are going to not read. We are going to thank him. Ooh. We will answer his question. What was the last thing? Follow, blah, 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 leave an impact. Believe this will get to Lila attending Monica's high school inaugural speech levels of danger. Yeah, probably. Let's agree. Ask about the staring. Say nothing. Aha, here we go. Okay. Onward and upward to this next ending. It wasn't worth pressing on. Oh, here we go. I have a question for you. Do you still want to go down? Come on. Come on, Tommy. Are you here or not today? Come on. So much water. Do you still... There he is. Do you still want to face Satan? He will reject you, you know. Even if he believes in you, you know what your Creator will say. He'll cast you right back down here. And it'll have to be here. Do you want to go through the effort only to be humiliated and rejected? I'd hate to see that on you, Sam. I really would. But it's your own decision. If you stay here, I will take care of you. I will tell you everything you want to know. If you decide to still go down, I will make sure the keepers of those circles treat you with kindness and lead you to Satan easily. Then, if you are rejected, I will welcome you with open arms. What if I'm not? I don't think you'll make it to paradise. I don't... Golly, where is he today? Come on, show up, Tommy. Where are you? Fucking hell. I don't think you'll make it to the paradise you wanted to go to. Because, in truth, it's not as fantastic as they make it up to be. But, as I said, it's your decision. Let's move on. I think I'm going to try. Can't hurt to try and see what happens. And if I come back, then I come back. If that's your choice, follow me. He led me out of the room. Frick. He led me out of the room and back into the hallway. The elevator's always been in the building? Yes, it has. Why I didn't say this earlier isn't for you to know. We walked for maybe 10 minutes, past paintings and shelves and ancient artifacts. He stopped at an unsuspecting shelf. We've already seen this? Oh, or not? Okay. We stopped at an unsuspecting shelf where all books were the same color. Dorian pulled on one book, and the shelves opened outward to reveal a modern elevator. This will take you down to violence, the 7th circle. Just let them know I allowed you down. They'll know what to do. I pressed the button labeled 7. Dorian raised one hand and waved it shyly, like he wasn't sure if he should. Good luck down there, Sam. Thank you, Dorian. He'd kept eye contact until the elevator had closed completely. I began traveling downwards. I didn't know how long it would take, and I wasn't sure how to process my emotions along the way. I just had to hope that he was telling the truth. Hey, Tundra. That's me jokingly coming. Yeah. Nice. Sent to my doom, back crying in your arms. Woo. Okay, so let's see. We've gotten ending 2. We've gotten ending 4. And now we've gotten ending 5. We need 1 and 3. So let's go back. Okay. So this time we're going to stay with him. Let's see how that goes. Sam before this whole ordeal. Circles are cool. Sam after this whole ordeal. Circles are not cool. Triangles rock, man. Yeah. I grabbed for one of the hands clasped around the other. A soft sound of surprise came from his mouth. I want to stay. It's nice here, and you've been very loving to me. Loving in a way I've never felt before, never understood. And if what you're saying is true, then what's the point in even trying? He smiled, and even through the bars of the muzzle was it bright. Yes, you're right. It's fantastic here with you. I could never ask for anyone else to spend my life with. Would you like to explore the other wings now? I have so much to show you. He held my hand and dragged me through the halls of his library, full of forbidden falsehoods. The whole time, he was smiling, eyes lit up with stars, despite the darkened... Yeah. Huh? That's a new one. Hang on. I need to tangent, because I don't know this word. Come on, Google. Clara? Sclera. The wider... Oh! Okay. Thank you, Google. The whole time, he was smiling, eyes lit up with stars, despite the darkened sclera and sunken irises. He didn't tell me yet why he was so infatuated with me, why, exactly, things had transpired the way they did. I knew he would, though, eventually. Ending 3. Some things are best in the shadows of secrecy. Nice. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. What do we have left to do? Have we spent the entire game behaving skeptically of him? Like, not being polite, just asking questions, more like an interrogation instead of a conversation. I wonder. No. Okay. So let's try that. Let's see what that does. So we'll ask about the muzzle. Can you take it? We haven't asked that before, have we? Yeah. Ooh, okay. Can you take it off? Cool. No. Not on my own, at least. It is unlocked with a key, which I do not possess. I cannot saw, cut, or burn through the metal. But that's all right with me. I've never needed to take it off. But enough of all that. Stand next to him. It's because you're not human. Follow. Read the letter. Ask about the other letters. I don't take you as a fruity tea person. Call out the nickname. Ask about him. Okay, here we go. I think this is gonna do it. Okay, let's do when did you... Hang on, I'm gonna save here. Because I think this was where the 3 choice questions started popping up, so we'll do that. When did you die? Within the 1st century CE. I was burned alive for leading some Roman lambs astray. I had a lot of thoughts on how the world should work. I've always thought religion was selfish. People do good deeds to seem like good people, good enough to achieve paradise. I thought good deeds should be done because you want to be a good person. You want to help your fellow man, not to gain something in the end. Sam, what's with all those letters and why are you keeping me around? What's your end goal here? Specific goal? Oh wait, I'm stupid. My name is Semyon. Samyon. I had other thoughts. That the man on everyone's lips was just another preacher. That we are in control of ourselves. That's a very Luciferian ideal of you. It's why my realm is tombs of fire and ash. Are you still upset? About dying? No. I was never upset. The only thing I'm upset about is that I can't... He stopped himself, both in his word and in his body. Never mind. Okay. Are you allowed to leave? Oh, wait a minute. I'm big dumb. So we're going to skip through that. 2. Okay. Are you allowed to leave? You made it seem like you can't. I can. For short periods of time. I typically just visit other demons. A friend of mine runs an art gallery. Another's a musician. And a good friend of mine runs a bar. What about the physical world? Like where you came from? I can travel there. My time spent must be shorter. And I must manifest as something else. Like an animal? He's a basist. Definitely a basist. All basists are demons. Oh. 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 Yeah, I guess you got me there. Like an animal? Yes. Okay. Hmm. I'm stumped. You guys have any ideas? I'm legitimately stumped. We have one more ending to get. Perhaps you have access to... Nope. No guides, no nothing. We've got to figure this out on our own. Okay. Tundra, I will let you do that. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm trying to think. If you guys have any thoughts on, like, choices we missed or something we did wrong, let me know. Because I'm pretty clueless. We still need ending 1. Oh, we also need to do the game's intro. Because, you know, y'all know me. I'm a completionist. I mean, how long is the intro, I wonder? While he is collecting that, let's go ahead and play the intro. Just see what there is to see. Because this will be our last ending. And then we've got, once we're done with this, we'll go to a break, and then we'll switch to the next one. Okay, so we're going to go through the intro, and then once the questions pop up, I'll be coming to you. Ooh. I regret not doing this. This music is great. Ooh. Locket.
Sometimes I sit and I stare at the rain.
Uh-oh. I might have just realized why we shouldn't do that. We're just gonna move forward. Yeah, we're just gonna move forward. My name is Sam. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. It is. Definitely. Okay. Might as well just start listing them, Tundra, because we're gonna be blowing through. Hmm? Well, the thing of it is, if that's copyrighted music, I'm kind of boned. What do we do here, Tundra? Yeah. I'll remove it after the stream. Yeah. I'm not enormously worried about it. I can fix. I do enjoy the music though. It is legitimately great. Okay. Next up. Mm-hmm. Numbers might work better, Tundra. Here we go. But isn't that a heresy? That God and his heaven would be boring? How do you know? How do you know that he isn't, Sam? Have you been there? Have you met souls who have come back from such a paradise? Part of what makes heaven so great is that God is there. Oh, and you think he's going to play dollhouse with you? Oh, darling Sam, it's so lovely to see you here with me and the other millions of people I've led astray. I can be the daddy, and you can be the mommy, and everyone else can be our children and our dogs. See, if I was there, I'd try to kill myself again. Why am I even sitting here and talking to you? Because you can't leave, Sam. There's a storm raging outside, and your soul will corrode before there's a storm raging outside, and your soul will corrode before you even attempt to get your warped idea of paradise. You notice how his story of his death has changed twice? Has it? Has it? Wait a minute. Oh. Oh. You're right. Ooh. I'm sorry. I can stop. Berating you and your beliefs is not what I'm here to do. This guy was getting on my last nerves. Oh, snap. Ooh. Whoops. Ooh. Okay. Walk out. I'm just going to find the elevator myself. Is that your decision? Yes. If you insist. He snapped his fingers, and I heard the sound of metal in the distance. Did you lock the doors? I unlocked them. You can go to the right, walk for 2 minutes until you see a sign that said 19th Wing, and then make another right. There will be a door that you can exit through. But know this. When you begin to perish, with dust in your eyes and ash in your lungs, dragging your body down, I will be there, to carry you back to the Church of Forbidden Knowledge." I left without another look or another word. I didn't know how long I had been walking through the thick clouds of ash. My legs were on the verge of giving out. Ash stuck to my skin like dead cells. My eyes were growing heavy. Through my limited sight, I saw no signs of the elevator to the next floor. Was it even out here? I didn't know. I couldn't think. I was coughing up too much dust to think straight. And eventually, I fell to the ground. My back was against the dirt, and my head was facing the sky, burdened by the embers of burning tombs. The Lord was not going to save me here. I was going to die again, in the exact same position. Except this time, I would be without the sticky clumps of blood which clung to my skin. I closed my eyes and tried my best to drown it all out. To drown out the sound of dust and birds. "You should have listened." I couldn't react with the heavy feeling in my body, like rocks under my skin that were weighing me down. Arms wrapped around my body and pulled me into the air. I was being held. No, cradled in them. And we were walking. He was walking with his back against the storm. "What am I going to do with you, Sam? I'll fix you right up and start over. Maybe." For the first time since I had met him, he hesitated. Truly hesitated. "I'll worry about that later." I opened one of my eyes to look up at Dorian. Instead, all I saw was a bird flying into the storm. I closed it again and melted into the cold of Heresy's master. No matter how much I scrub at my tongue, the taste of blood remains. What a game. What a phenomenal game. I loved this. I absolutely loved this. It was such a unique story. Like, how do I articulate this without being offensive? Like, I am not a Christian. I'm pagan. I follow a polytheistic deity set. Getting to see someone approach a love story or a yandere story or, you know, a story of passion in this way, I loved it. I loved it. Dev, if you are listening, great job. This was so refreshing. This was so very refreshing. I loved every second. This was a lot of fun. This was great. So, with that, that's going to be the end of 1016. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will play the next Yandere Jam visual novel. Or at least start it. I don't know how long it is, but we'll find out. We'll see you guys after the break. See you soon. Is going to be It Gets So Lonely Here. And I'm very interested to see... Yay, welcome back. Did you take another shower? Don't know if I remember seeing Frisk. Frisk is a channel veteran. He's been away for a bit. Not this time. He's been away for a bit, but it's really good to see Frisk back. Okie doke. Just wait for the game to load. There it is. Ebihime. Come on. There it goes. Uh-oh, it's off center. Hang on. So I guess I can put this over here. There. That should work. Brought back from the Twitch dead. Very good, very good, very good. What? The good ending. Yeah! Right on. Ooh, you are loud. Pull you down just a skosh. I know nothing about this game, only that Ebi is a big staple in the... what VN community? Has put something like 17 game. Wow. Holy jeez. You're still a little loud. Just quiet down, if you don't mind, please. Oh, got you. Okay. Interesting. Very cool. Can I get a member of Team Yandere? Greg, I'll let you do it today. Go ahead and in announcements, ping the Illidaries and let them know that we're back with It Gets... Oh, never mind. Bun Bun's got it. Somebody do it. I don't care who. Okay. Transitions. What? Interesting. It Gets So Lonely Here is the name of the game. There we go. That's better. I do like the music on this one too. That's really nice. Hang on, I'm having to tinker with this a little bit because it's like center and this monitor. I fucking swear. Freak. What? Oh. Oh, Ebi. We'll be on this one for a little bit, I guess. Oh my. I mean, that's true, Frisk. Very true. Very, very true. Oh, Ebi. Goodness. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to be a series for a little bit, I guess. Hang on, I gotta shrink this a little more again. T90. There we go. Okay, I think I got it now. Thank you very much, Bun Bun. We appreciate. And I'm gonna poke the text or the chat box because that also is a little off. There we go. There. Much better. Okay. So, the next submission to Yandere Jam 2023 is going to be a series for probably the next few days, minus tomorrow, of course. And it's titled, It Gets So Lonely Here. And it starts now. Okay. Okay, Silver. Sure that if I fell in love with my bed, it would leave me too. Oh, Tundra, no. How do you unlurk? I don't know, but welcome back. You are running through a forest. It is late at night, and the sky is as black as pitch. There is nothing to light your way, save for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach you, not properly. The trees which surround you, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. God dang it, sorry. You cannot see what you are doing. You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour, however, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. You do not know where you are going. You have no map, no route, no plan. You are running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. You have no desire, as you run, save to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going, on and on and on. Though your feet are screaming at you for mercy. You have no idea how long you have been running. Time has begun to blend together. It has lost all meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead, you tug, and your skirt tears, the sound splitting through the forest, and you stumble forwards with a shocked gasp. You are free, but at what cost? Your skirt has been irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon, she will catch you. Then your life will be over. You do not know if she is still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. If you were to see her silhouetted beneath a tree, looking at you with that sickly sweet smile which once ensnared you, you would lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up, and your blood would freeze in your veins. Then you would crumple. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. Did she not promise, when you made that contract, that you would never be alone? You would like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it is too late for that. It is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. You run and run and run while icy fog swirls about your feet. It is cold enough to sap the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. Don't know, first. It feels as though you were drowning. Later, Zoe. Whoops. Ah, thank you, rollback. It feels as though you are being buried alive. Don't worry, Silver. We'll resume it eventually. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You cannot endure much more of this. But if you value your own life, you must. You run, and you run, and you run, until, at long last, you reach a fork in the road. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4, if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double back on yourself, though. Not when you've put so much effort into running forwards. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sight, given you are so deep in the forest. Dark though it may be, you must have grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just about pick out the writing on this old, dilapidated signpost curved and slanted though it is. Embrace fate, guys. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliche, is in your hands. Now, I wonder, which path will you take? Oh, so we will save. Imagine if this dev heard about you, hence you, and that would be entertaining, honestly. That would be really cool. That would make me very happy. I would like to see the castle first, I think. What do y'all think? Cool. Haha, I see you, Frick. So, you want to go to the castle? Good idea. All decent fairy tales tend to conclude in castles once they're beleaguered. Let me just say, as well read as I am, nothing makes me happier than finding words that I don't know, because it's very rare and it makes me very happy. Beleaguered, that's interesting. All decent fairy tales tend to conclude in castles once they're beleaguered, put upon heroines are finally able to wed the handsome princes they once dreamed of. Why bother trying your luck with the shore, which may very well be deserted, or the village, which will be full of dirty, barefoot peasants? It is far better to skip the suffering and go straight to the grand finale. That is very astute of you. I did not realize you had it in you to be so mercenary. I can only wonder what you will uncover during your moonlight meanderings. The night is far from over, and your adventures are only just beginning. I hope only that you have brushed up on your curtsies. They might come in handy when one is interacting with a sovereign. Royals can be temperamental, after all. If you fail to treat them with the prerequisite amount of respect, you might come to regret it. You follow the path which leads to the castle, supporting yourself on weary, aching legs which feel ready, at a moment's notice, to detach from your hips. You are little more than a wisp of a girl. But you've been running for so very long. Your feet are so very numb. You feel like a great lumbering thing, clumsy and ungainly. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. You only hope, as you continue to run, that you will find a spare room available for you in the castle. You do not know what, exactly, will await you at the castle, but you have visions, as you run, of a vast, opulent dwelling. This dwelling will surely be full of finely furnished rooms in which you might rest your weary head. There must also be a king and a queen inside this castle, you ponder, who will be kind and wise. And what of their children? What of a princess? Every good castle must possess a princess who will take pity on you and your plight. You can imagine the face of this generous princess with ease, thanks to the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. The princess will be fair of hair and blue of eye, with soft pink lips pursed like rosebuds. Her limbs will be slender, her hands dainty and unsullied from physical labor, and her sensibilities will be sweeter than marzipan. She will be kind to you and compassionate, just like an older sister. You do not know what older sisters are like, though, or younger sisters for that matter. Me neither. You are only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Monarchs do not, as you know from voracious reading, have the best track record when it comes to caring for the peasantry. Was there not a very famous queen who once said, with a cavalier wave of her hand, that the hungry peasants in her kingdom should content themselves with cake if bread was not an option? I like that reference. You think that this might be a misquote, but the point still stands. I adore Ebby's sense of humor. This is wonderful. Though royals are supposed to grant their subjects succor. Succor. Okay. I know that word, but I have never actually seen it in print. That's so cool. Is it sucker? Is it? This is the coolest. I'm loving the vocabulary in this visual novel so far. It's so pretty. Never seen it spelled with British. That's what fucked me up. That makes more sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes better sense because I've been seeing a lot of British spelling. Though royals are supposed to grant their subjects succor in their time of need, this does not always happen. In fact, it very rarely happens. Kings and queens and princesses and princes are just people at the end of the day. Okay, thank you, Silver. And they are subject to the same caprices that all humans are. They can also be careless and selfish and inconsiderate. There is no guarantee that this mythical princess of your imagination will help you. Why, there is no guarantee that this mythical princess exists at all. Still, you must try. It is this hope which keeps you going. You continue to run to the castle. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you do it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? Oh, Ebby, you are my new best friend. I love how you think. I genuinely do. I'm still tinkering, hang on. Don't betray me, AT 2020, please. The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is still cold, though, and foggy, and very, very dark. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though, as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the castle, which looms in front of you like a cliffside. The stone edifice of the building is imposing, and it drowns you in shadows darker than the depths of the deepest ocean. The castle is not all dark, though, not like the night sky above it. When you crane your head, you can see that there are lights flickering within, in the narrow, slitted windows. It would appear that somebody is home. The king and queen, perhaps? What of their servants? What, perhaps more pressingly, of their guards? You half expect, as you stand there, that armored knights will accost you for daring to approach the castle of King and Queen so-and-so. Do you not know your place, Foolish peasant girl with the dirty skirt. Begone with you. You are not, of course, a peasant. Your family is a wealthy one, or or rather, or rather, they were, before your father made a series of poor financial decisions. You do not look like a young lady right now, though, with your dirty face and your dirty skirt, which is torn at the hem. If any guards were to take you for a vagrant, it would not be surprising. But though you stand there dithering, your filthy fingers hooked in front of your filthy skirt, you do not hear any cries. Nobody sounds the alarm. Lights might be on inside the castle, but there is nobody outside of its perimeter standing sentry. There is nobody to impede your entry, and the elaborate iron gates, which are set into vast stone walls about the castle's exterior, are open, just a crack. It would be a trivial matter to slip inside. There is nobody to stop you. Why are you trembling now, you silly thing? You have come so very far. It would be an act of foolishness to turn around now. Go on, go. You inhale, perhaps in an attempt to screw up your courage, which has, at long last, begun to fail you. And then you step forwards. You slide between the wrought iron gates, as stealthy and as secretive as a thief, then cross the path which leads up to the tall, imposing structure. The domed doorway which leads into the castle itself, hewn from stone, is closed, but at a push of your palm, it swings inwards. The door creaks alarmingly as it opens, the sound loud enough to split the silence like a thunderclap. You inhale at this and glance around, your eyes darting hither and thither. If there are any guards posted about the castle's grounds, they should all have been alerted by that sound. Will they come for you at long last? What will happen should they catch you? Will they throw you in dungeons? It does not sound like a pleasant way to spend the night. At least, you would have a roof over your head, though, and you would not have to keep walking. Your feet really do ache. You stand there for an indeterminable amount of time, your heart pounding a panicked, irregular rhythm in the base of your throat. But no matter how much time elapses, no guards come. You are thankful for your good luck, though it does make you wonder. Where is everybody? Why? It is almost as if all the people in the world have disappeared. Could you be the very last human left alive? You frown and press your palm back against the door. Nice sound. You push less cautiously, this time heedless of the loud sound which splits the silence. There's no point in worrying about the guards, not when they might very well be non-existent. Your entry to the castle secured, you then take a step forwards. The door swings shut behind you, and the resultant slam makes you jump. You did not expect it. Your heart knocks against your ribs, and, with wild eyes, you glance about. You are standing in a vast entrance hall made of stone, which splits off into any number of passages. At the very end of the hall, meanwhile, there is a large, elaborate staircase, one which seems to extend to the heavens themselves. It is dark inside the hall, but there are numerous torches set in sconces on the stone wall, which are aflame. They offer some relief from the shadows. You can hear the faint sound of the wind outdoors as it moans against the castle's impervious walls, but you cannot hear any footsteps. You cannot hear any voices. You cannot, more importantly, hear any people. Maybe the castle's empty. If that is the case, though, then who lit these torches? It is a curious conundrum. You muster up what remains of your courage, then cry out, addressing the empty hall in timorous voice which fails to properly fill up the space. "Hello," you say, your eyes wide. "Is anybody there?" Your voice echoes through the vast empty hall, but it is met yet again with silence. You cannot say you are too surprised, but it is somewhat disappointing. Not one to be deterred, you try again and again, your voice growing louder with each subsequent attempt. No matter how loud your voice, however, it fails to reach any ears. If anybody is here, they do not seem to be particularly sociable. That, or perhaps they simply cannot hear you. Could they be in another room? Yes, that must be it. You will never find that pretty fairy tale princess of your imagination if you stand idle, you know. It is time to get to work. Put those legs of yours to good use. Not knowing what else to do, is there anything else you can do? You begin to explore. You examine the rooms first on the ground floor of the castle, which are of a similar scale to the impressive entrance hall, large and richly furnished, but utterly unoccupied. After some time of aimless meandering, encountering nobody save the ghosts of aeons past, memorialized on portraits upon the walls, you muster the courage to ascend to the second floor. This floor, too, you imagine. This floor, too, you examine, wandering through a seemingly endless series of hallways until, at long last, you find a door which is ajar. From between the crack in the door and the jamb, you can see flickering light. Irregular, yes, but it is light nonetheless. Could it be from a fireplace? That would suggest, then, that this room is occupied, unlike all the others. Perhaps the kindly princess you dreamed of will be awaiting you in this room. It is with a trembling hand that you press your palm against the door. Chandra. You push it. Then you step inside the bedchamber, which unveils itself to you. Shyly, you stand in the threshold of the chamber, much of your courage extinguished, and gasp. The bedroom itself is gorgeous. It is a chamber so luxuriant not even the shadows can obscure the fine craft of the furniture within it, nor the rich patterns on the walls. It is the girl inhabiting the chamber, however, who truly takes your breath away. Oh, hi. Sitting upon the velveteen sheets of the towering four-poster is a girl in a sumptuous red gown who seems to be of a like age to you. You do not have a clear view of the girl's face. Her head is bowed, her gaze directed downwards at her lap. You can tell from her hair, however, and from her slender calves, which protrude from beneath the hem of her dress, that she is very pretty. The girl's hair is golden, just like freshly cut wheat, but it is the red of her dress which truly captures your attention. She is so striking, you cannot look away from her. The girl is not alone in her chamber, either. She has a companion, though this companion is not half so endearing as she. In her lap, perched upon her velvet skirt, is a doll. The doll's hair, like that of her mistress, is golden, though Much of it is hidden beneath the bonnet. The girl is adjusting a china teacup held in the girl's tiny hand, while the rim of the cup glints in the light which exudes from the fireplace. If the girl is of a similar age to you, it seems strange that she would content herself by playing with dolls. Is she not too old for it? This girl would be more at home, you decide, at a ball, wearing an extravagant gown, speaking with wealthy noblemen, perhaps even princes. She should not be sitting in what you presume to be her bedchamber, adjusting a teacup in a doll's hand. But you are not afforded much more time to stand there, marveling at the girl, because she turns. She raises her head. Then her eyes meet yours. You thought the girl pretty when you first observed her, sitting on the edge of her plush velveteen bed, examining her doll. Now she is looking at you, however, her face illuminated by the flames in their grate. You can see that you were mistaken. She is not just pretty. She is beautiful. So much so, it is breathtaking. She looks as though she stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She's simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. No, she is none of those things. The doll on her lap is a cold, hard thing made of porcelain, and it is unflinchingly, reassuringly real. If she were a mirage, surely she would not be able to handle physical objects such as this. It is strange, though. The doll, though immaculately made, looks oddly imperfect when compared to the girl who was holding it. She is so startlingly beautiful. She even puts man-made representations of feminine charms to shame. The sight of her makes you feel rather weak. You always have had a fondness for fair maidens, haven't you? You're rather hopeless when it comes to them, even worse than a knight-errant from a courtly legend. Your aesthetic appreciation is not particularly ladylike, but, well, it is not every day a girl encounters an elegant beauty like this, attired in red, illuminated by the firelight. I suppose I can forgive you for this rudeness, as, too, can the girl. She does not seem to be the type to hold a grudge. "Oh," the girl says in a voice that, surprisingly enough, is far less round you. "Oh," the girl says in a voice that, surprisingly enough, far less refined than her appearance.
"It is good to see you. I've been waiting."
As she. That is news to you. You blink, perplexed, a response on the tip of your tongue, but you are unable to expel it into the ether. The girl is setting her doll aside. Then she stands, the hem of her dress swishing about her legs. Nimbly, like a ballerina, she canvasses the space between you. A room is so very large, there is quite a lot of space. Then takes your hands in her own.
"You must,"
the girl says, her eyes aglow with excitement.
"Be my new lady's maid. It's been a while, but it's such a relief that you finally arrived. I knew that you would. You'd never leave me alone, not when you knew how long I was waiting. Oh, I'm so happy."
The girl's good mood is contagious, so much so you find yourself being swept away in it. You're tempted to accept any identity she might press upon you. You've never been a maid before, but you might not mind being this girl's maid. She does not seem like a poor mistress to serve, not if she's always this kind. You cannot mask the confusion, however, which flickers across your face. You are not a good enough actress.
"Screw you, Abby."
I may not be perfect, but I'm okay, damn it. You are not a good enough actress. And in any case, this is all happening too quickly. Why, you barely know this girl. Why is she being so very familiar? It is with blank bovine eyes that you examine the girl. Your befuddlement is pronounced enough that even the girl, despite her good mood, notices it. She frowns. Then she says, her fingers sliding away from your own.
Or am I mistaken? Are you not my new lady's maid after all?
The disappointment in the girl's face is abundant, so much so, your heart clenches. You do not know her. She is still a stranger, but you are struck, all of a sudden, with the intense desire to appease her. You do not want to let her down. The thought is devastating. You were not aware, you tell her that you had applied to be her maid, but if that is what she wills, you would not be opposed to it. You pray that she forgives you, though, for your discombobulation. You come from a distant country, and you have traveled for many miles. You know not where you are, and you do not know who she is.
What? You don't know who I am?
It is regrettable, you tell her, but no, you do not know her, though that is no fault of your own. Why, you have spent such a long time running, you hardly even know yourself.
Oh, so you are a fugitive, then, from another country, I see. I won't pry into your past, then, if you'd rather forget about it. I don't mind sharing my past with you, though. Everybody in this country knows who I am, after all. Or at least they should.
Now, this is quite the impressive boast. If it were to come from the lips of another, you would find it unpleasantly arrogant. You do not think, however, that this girl is trying to show off. You get the feeling, instead, that she is merely telling the truth.
If you don't have the pleasure of knowing me, then allow me to do the honors. My father and mother were the king and queen of this realm, and I am its princess. I've lived in this castle all my life, so I don't know much about the outside world, but I know that other countries do exist out there. I presume it is from one of these foreign countries that you come from. It is very good to meet you. I've always wanted to talk to somebody from overseas. It feels like quite the opportunity.
Girl giggles at this, and you smile in response. You tell her, unthinkingly, that it is your pleasure, really, to meet her, or at least you mean to. You only get halfway through this remark when the full gravity of what the girl has told you sinks in. I'm willing to venture a guess it's the princess, to be perfectly frank. You come to a stop. Then you stare. Did she just say she was a princess?
Yes, that's right. I'm a princess, and one day I'll be a queen, after I've done a little bit of growing up. My ministers don't think I'm ready to run the country just yet, but I've been doing my best in my lessons. One day, I'm sure I'll be the best queen there ever was.
So, she really is a princess. That makes sense, you suppose, given she lives in a castle. But it comes as a surprise, regardless. You hadn't known, before you entered this chamber, that you were trespassing on a lady of such great renown. Why, if she willed it, she could have you executed for your carelessness. An ugly red flush creeps up on your face, a flush which is far more lurid than the princess's dress, as you look to your feet. Bashfully, you stammer out a new address, that you are very sorry for intruding upon her, and you hope that she can forgive you.
Oh, it's all right. Think nothing of it. I don't mind, really. We all make mistakes, and anyway, you weren't to know. You said you weren't from around here?
You nod your head in silent affirmation. It isn't a complete lie. You really are not from this country. You are not from this world at all.
How wonderful. I look forward to picking your brain later. All of my servants come from the nearby village. Their tales are all the same, and so are their superstitions. I could do with a breath of fresh air. My last lady's maid told me I was too impetuous, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a bit of adventure. Not that I've ever been afforded much of that. I've been shut up in here for so long, I hardly ever get the chance to talk to other girls my age. My last lady's maid was older than me, and so was the one before her, and the one before her.
Some of the princess's fair mood seems to dissipate as she speaks, her expression turning by degrees into something rather more pensive.
But I haven't seen any of my old lady's maids in a while, or any of the other servants for that matter. They've all disappeared.
Now, that is quite curious. How could a whole household full of servants simply disappear?
That I don't know. This castle was full of servants once. My lady's maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and a large retinue of retainers. They're all gone now, though. I think my ministers must have sent them away. I don't know why they would have done that, though. They didn't explain it to me. But then again, they never explain anything to me. They still treat me like a little girl. It's so tiring.
She said that her ministers sent her servants away. What of her parents, the king and queen? Would they not be the ultimate authorities in the castle's hierarchy?
They would, yes, if they were still alive. But they're not. They died a long time ago. I was raised for most of my life by my servants.
Sorry, I hit a button. Oh, you answer, and then you flush. You hadn't known.
It's all right. You don't need to apologize. I'm just happy that I have you now. I was getting sick and tired of only having my dolls to speak to. They aren't the best conversational partners.
You can imagine so, yes. You doubt any doll, even one made by a talented artisan, with an intelligent face indistinguishable from humans, would be very good at answering back.
Oh no, they aren't. They're hopeless at it, really. They're so stony-lipped. You have no idea how much of a relief it is to see you. This castle is so big, and without my servants, it feels so very empty. It gets so lonely here.
Hey. Now, that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You do not have much time to ponder this, however, because the princess is speaking anew, in what curiously conversational manner of hers, which does not seem particularly princessy. Maybe she learned how to speak from her servants. That would explain why her consonants are so unrefined.
Oh, but listen to me yammering again. It's a bad habit. I really must put a stop to it. You're probably tired, dear one, from your travels. Would you like me to show you to your room?
Yes, the princess announces before you say anything in reply.
I think I'll do just that. I might show you a bit around the castle first, though. It's like a maze in here. I wouldn't want you getting lost. You'll be staying here for quite some time, after all.
Oh yeah, Princess is passionate. Princess is very passionate. The princess then hastens to take you on a tour of her home. Fortunately, she does not show all of her room. Fortunately, she does not show all of the rooms in her abode, and neither does she offer overly long descriptions as to what the few rooms she does show are used for. She does, however, pause by the kitchens, whereat she offers you some victuals. Victuals? That's another new one. What the fuck? I see you, Frick. Victuals. That's a new one. Once the growling in your belly has been satisfied, the princess then resumes her journey. She leads you down a dark, twisting hallway and up a series of equally dark, twisting steps until she arrives, at long last, before a door. The princess pushes the door aside summarily, thus permitting you entrance to a small, humble bedchamber. This chamber is not half so opulent as the grand bedroom in which the princess resides, with its resplendent four-poster and its richly patterned wallpaper. This room's ceiling is not as high, and the singular bed shoved against the wall is thin and narrow. The walls are an unassuming beige, and the floor beneath your soles is of warped wood. There is a malodorous scent, too, which hangs in the air, one of disuse and general decay. Apparently victuals is an adjective describing something old-fashioned and humorous. Huh. Okay. You get the feeling that nobody has slept in this room for quite some time. That might explain why it feels so very cold in here. Though, if the princess's tour of her castle has taught you anything, it is that it is cold in every room in her abode.
Now, here we are, the final stop of our tour. This'll be your room, dear one. I hope it's to your liking.
The princess, despite her exalted status, looks somewhat uneasy as she observes you, her eyes upturned like those of a loyal dog's.
Oh, sweet puppy dog eyes.
Is she concerned about your reaction to this room? Perhaps she is afraid that you will turn your nose up at her kindness. For a princess, she is awfully eager to please. This unexpected contrast between the princess's lofty title and her ingratiating attitude makes you smile. The girl who's like a puppy, oh no, whatever shall I do? I guess I have to wife her. The room is rather scanty, yes, when it comes to its contents, but it is more than passable. It has a roof and 4 walls, and though it is cold, you fancy you will feel warmer once you've slipped beneath the bed sheets. The room is not quite so fancy as your dormitory at the conservatoire, and neither is it so large, but it does have one glaring improvement over your previous lodgings. You will not be expected to share it with anybody else. There is only one bed in this room, and this bed is to belong to you. You think that the peace and quiet will do you a world of good. You tell the princess as much, and she smiles.
Oh, that's good. I was worried you wouldn't like it. I know it isn't much to look at, but it's one of the nicest servants' rooms we have in the castle. Most of the maids sleep beneath the roof in this teeny tiny room, which is all cramped. There's 10 beds up there, and they're so close together there's barely any room to pass between them. I thought it was perfectly ghastly when I saw it the last time I went up there. Not that I was supposed to be up there. It was a rainy day, and I couldn't go outdoors, so I was doing a bit of exploring. If the housekeeper had known I'd been skulking around, I don't think she would have been best pleased. Well, in any case, nobody sleeps up there anymore. The scullery maids are all gone now. I couldn't put you up there, though, in the attic, with all those empty beds. I didn't think it'd be very cheery. You're not just a scullery maid. You're my lady's maid. That means you deserve good lodgings. It'd be an insult to offer you any less than this. Now, it's getting late. You'll have to forgive me for riveting on. I have heard it's something I tend to do. It's a bad habit, one that's unbecoming for a lady. The housekeeper's warned me enough times.
You reassure the princess to the contrary, smiling as you do so. You do not mind if she talks too much. That is better than not talking at all. Her affable nature makes it easier to spend time with her. Manners be damned. You were always scolded, too, back in the conservatoire, for your behavior. You know full well how aggravating it can be to be upbraided, not for any particular misdemeanor, but just for being yourself.
Well, I'm glad you understand,
The princess answers with a giggle.
I really should be off, though. It's bad manners to keep you, especially when you look so sleepy. Get some rest. We can talk more tomorrow. If you don't mind my Cecil's prattle, I'm glad you seem to appreciate it at least. Though I'm sure you'll get tired of it eventually. All my old maids did.
The princess departs, and in her absence you take a seat upon the bed. Your new bed. You cannot help but think that this is all happening very quickly. It does not seem like very long ago that you were still in the forest, running for your life amongst the tall, imposing trees with their gnarled, grasping branches. The forest might as well be a distant memory now, though. You are indoors, inside a castle, no less, and you have been given a room in which to sleep and clothes that you might wear. It seems premature, still, to declare that you are out of the woods, in the metaphorical sense, I mean, but things could certainly be worse. You force yourself to stand on legs which feel too weary to support you, and change into the nightclothes hanging in the wardrobe. Welcome home, Libitina. The nightclothes do not fit you perfectly, but you are too tired to care about that. You are too tired to care about much of anything. You retreat to the bed and slide beneath its sheets. Then you let your eyelids fall shut. You exhale, and lulled by the breeze which blows outdoors, you fall asleep. You are so very tired, your sleep is a deep, dark one, darker even than the furthest abysses of the night time. Like the night sky, however, which shimmers with stars, your sleep is not devoid of those prismatic fragments you humans call dreams. Though, in this case, you rather think your nocturnal imaginings are worth rather more than that. They are not dreams, are they, to which your slumbering mind is subjected? You know that they are not. Otherwise, your body would not be so very cold, not so clammy. The images that flicker beneath your closed eyelids, like the ghostly images in a phenakistatope. What? Were not conjured from within your mind. They were instead taken from your memories. You are not merely dreaming. You are remembering. You remember the girls who slept in your dormitory, and how they always hastened to use the shower first, so you were the last for breakfast. You remember how, when you finally did arrive at the dining hall, the most desirable morsels had already been snaffled up by the girls who got there earlier. You struggled, too, to find a seat once you finally did get your hands on some food, because nobody ever wanted to sit with you. The other girls all acted like you were a leper, save for when they wanted favors. They never asked for these favors, mind, for why would they? To them, your father's prestige did not matter. They were all wealthy ladies, too, many of them wealthier than you. When everybody has the airs and graces of a princess, how is anybody supposed to stand out? You stood out the least in your class, perhaps because you were one of the smallest, the frailest, the sickliest, who always came down with colds in the winter. Your poor health did not stop the other girls from treating you as a servant, though, When they remembered you existed, of course. It was your lot in life, as you dwelt within the stone walls of the conservatoire, to carry school bags across the field like a pack mule. Then, come the evenings, the girls in your dormitory had you sewing on missing buttons and ironing out the creases and wrinkles in their uniforms. If there was an odd job that needed performing, you would always be asked. But these girls did not ask you. That would have been too civilized. They ordered you instead, and as they ordered you, they laughed at you. They laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed. The laughter hurt, but it hurt considerably less than the kicks did, and the slaps, and the pinches. Once, during an embroidery lesson, one of your classmates had an accident with her sewing scissors. She stumbled, or at least she pretended to, and before you knew it, the silvery blades of those scissors were embedded in your left palm. This happened quite some time ago, when you were even littler than you are now, but you can still remember it. It hurt a lot. The scissors were sharp, and they perforated your skin, not all the way down to the bone, but enough to bleed. Your wound bled bright red, like strawberry jam, all over your embroidery. Then, when your professor saw it, she shrieked. Her face turned as pale. Okay. Spinnable disc encircled by drawings in numerous poses with an eyepiece that lets you... Oh. Okay. Thank you, Libitina. Big priest. Her face turned as pale as whey, and she looked for a few moments as though she might faint, though you were the one who was in pain. Your professor looked at your face. She could not bear to look at your hand, then demanded to know why you could not be more careful. Her tone had been an accusatory one, almost as if you had stabbed yourself in the hand with your scissors to goad her. The pain in your hand hurt. The giggles of your persecutors hurt all the more. They never were punished for that. Perhaps your professor did not care enough to punish them. Perhaps she, like everybody else, thought it was all your fault. The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You did not even need any stitches. It healed well enough in time, on its own, though it still left a scar, a white, raised thing, like a crescent moon. You still have that scar. You do not know how much blood you lost. It seemed like a lot back in the classroom. You could smell it in the air, sharp as iron. But it could not have been that much, evidently. If your wound had been more serious, perhaps your professor might have cared. Perhaps your classmates, too, would have felt some modicum of guilt over what they did. But this seems very unlikely. You know that your blood meant nothing to your classmates. Why should it? If you meant next to nothing, then the blood in your veins was, if such a thing is possible, even more inconsequential. Okay. This is off to a very good start. I am definitely enjoying this. I like the style. The writing style that Ebby has is very hard to describe, but it's very hard to describe. It's something that I didn't know I was missing until I encountered it. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. So I cannot wait to continue it on Friday, which is exactly what we're going to do, because I'm going to call it for today. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Yandere Jam has definitely been providing some real awesome content, and I'm looking forward to explore it more. In the meantime, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and ring those bells. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Now hang tight. I'll get you onto your next stream. Bye bye, everyone.